Now at 6, 3 Joplin police officers and a suspect are hospitalized after a shooting and chase. Plus, police in Pittsburgh investigate the death of a woman found in a home.
McDonald County seniors are getting the chance to learn some life skills that often aren't taught in school. I'm Bronte Sorotsky with those details.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Gunfire in Joplin this afternoon puts 3 police officers and a suspect in the hospital. This is KOAM News at 6. Let's go live to KOAM's Shannon Becker at the scene.
Yeah, thanks. We learned information this afternoon. Joplin Police Assistant Chief Brian Lewis tells us that 3 Joplin police officers were shot at 2 different locations. It began about 1:30 this afternoon when they responded to a disturbance at the Buckle, about 4th and Geneva in Joplin, and 2 Joplin police officers were shot there in exchange of gunfire with a suspect. Suspect then fled. It was a pursuit to where we are here at the 900 block of South Connecticut, where another exchange of gunfire, and that suspect was shot. All 3 officers and the suspect were transported to area hospitals. And Assistant Police Chief Brian Lewis says there is no active threat to the community.
There's a bigger picture that we haven't put together yet, so as soon as those details come about, we will be turning this over to the Highway Patrol to work the details out.
Coming up at 7 o'clock, there will be a prayer vigil at Cunningham Park from 4 state ministry writers and David Durall. Also, the Highway Patrol is investigating the Division of Drugs and Crime Control, and they expect to have a press conference tomorrow. Reporting from Joplin, I'm Shannon Becker for KOAM News.
Shannon, thanks. Obviously, a still developing story. You can find all the latest information on this story on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com, and the KOAM News app. Again, Shannon, thank you. Police in Pittsburgh are treating a woman's death as a possible homicide. Officers yesterday conducted a welfare check at a home on West 4th Street because a woman at the home hadn't been heard from in several days. Inside, they discovered the body of 44-year-old Misty Watson Sorensen. Investigators are awaiting an autopsy report. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation's Crime Scene Response Team is helping with the case, along with investigators from the Crawford County Sheriff's Office and member agencies of the Tri-State Major Case Squad. Let's check in with Doug Heddy now for a first look at the weather.
All right, Dow, another chilly day for us today. A lot of clouds across the region. We actually do have a weak little wave that is passing by. So that's what's giving us the clouds. And you can see this junk on the radar, a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow trying to pop across the region. Most of this is not reaching the ground except where you find the little darker blues. We are getting a few random little snow showers, and these are mainly just kind of flurries. But this is what we're going to get throughout the evening hours. Not a huge deal. And then still a few flurries sticking around as the backside of this wave rotates through. Most of the heavy rain staying well to our south will start to actually clear out a little bit later on tonight. We're sitting upper 30s at this point in time. We'll drop back upper 20s, slide back through the 30s over the next several hours, and then eventually upper 20s. We have a little stronger storm system with better chances for snow moving in by Thursday night. We're going to look at that here in a bit.
See you then. This is Weather Preparedness Week, a perfect time to make sure you're ready for any possible severe weather this coming spring. Officials say you should have a plan ready in the event of an emergency, know where you and your family would go and what to bring. Also, have an emergency kit and supplies ready in your safe room, stuff like a first aid kit, non-perishable food, and plenty of water. While academics are an important part of school, the McDonald County High School District recognizes that there are other important life lessons students should know. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky has more on how Senior Day is teaching students lessons for life.
As adults, we may catch ourselves saying, I wish I had learned that in school. Well, seniors at McDonald County High School won't have to.
We're calling it Senior Day Adulting 101.
McDonald County seniors are just months away from graduation. And while they're so close to freedom, they're also close to all the responsibilities that come along with it. So their school is preparing them.
We've got 11 different sessions, and we've been involving a bunch of people in the community to come help us with these. One of our sessions is auto mechanic stuff, how to change a tire, how to check your oil.
Students also learn skills like registering to vote, creating a resume, and more. For students like Dason Fickle, the thought of entering the real world can be scary.
Well, I'm definitely a little worried about it, but I'm happy that my school has prepared me to be able to face the challenges that are coming ahead.
Fickle is getting ready to attend the University of Arkansas in the fall, so the skills he's learning will be useful to him very soon.
We're doing the adulting classes. I chose to learn how to study in college and how to write my resume and a cover letter, all things that I think will be very valuable for me.
The biggest message the school wants their students to hear: we're here for you.
Nobody's perfect, and you're going to have to live through a bunch of different experiences, a lot of learning opportunities. So we're just trying to prep you so you don't have to go through those without any awareness of them. But if you do hit a bump in the road, your school's here for you, and the people here in the community are here for you.
In Anderson, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
This is the first time the high school has hosted an event like this. Coming up, Crowder College renews a partnership with Central Methodist University. We'll explain how it works. Plus, we're going to hear from a Kansas family who lost their home in a fire over the weekend.
Printing services are.
Officials with Crowder College say the school has renewed a partnership with Central Methodist University to make it easier for students to transition after graduating. The agreement has been in place for 15 years. Now it'll be there for at least another 5 years. Crowder officials say CMU is one of their strong transfer partners. The partnership removes some of the barriers to make the process of transferring easier.
What we call seamless transfer, I think you probably hear that phrase a lot when you talk about community college and four-year university partnerships. But it really is what it sounds like. It's an opportunity for students to take as many hours as they can at our community college partner and transfer that into a four-year degree.
The transfer process is not available to all students, but officials say it does cover a variety of programs. A piece of property at 2510 South Main Street in Joplin has sat empty since the 2011 tornado. Well, now it's buzzing with business again after Brahms opened up its second store in Joplin. The new store plans to host a grand opening celebration week starting Monday, March 21st. A fire in Kansas destroyed 12,000 acres over the weekend, taking with it more than 24 homes. People displaced by the Cottonwood Complex fire were allowed to return home yesterday, but for some there was little or nothing left. Sean Logan reports.
You know, my son turned 18 last week, and now we have to start completely over. We will. We're strong.
It's 3 years to the day Keisha Brandt and her family became homeowners on Victory Road.
And we spent the next 6 months remodeling the whole thing to make it ours. It was our first home. So.
Keisha says their family was out of town when they learned fire was encircling their property.
Our property, I watched on our front door Ring camera, our entire property was taken over within 5 minutes. It was nuts. Devastating, yeah.
While they had a few miracles and some of their pets and animals survived, most everything else on their small farm is gone.
I prayed for the people and I prayed for my animals, and somehow the building that our dogs were in got completely missed. Everything around it burned.
And the same for many of their neighbors.
Driving down our block doesn't feel like home anymore. It doesn't look like home.
Cliff Bailey lives a few roads to the east, his home one of the few still standing. He watched as the fire was spreading across this area.
The flames were jumping the road over my truck, and I turned around and got out of there. It destroyed my rental house, but not the house that I live in.
Cliff stresses the severity of this catastrophic fire.
It'll take 10 years to fully recover. A lot of the people that I know out there that I've talked to aren't going to rebuild. It's just too devastating.
As smoke still scents the air, it's looking to what's next. For Keisha and her family, it's rebuilding their lives piece by piece.
We'll just keep going day after day after that, one foot in front of the other.
At least one person was killed in the Cottonwood Complex fire. A little bit later, how the Allen Community College men's basketball team is making program history.
Plus, more snow in the forecast a little bit later on this week. We're going to look at that coming up. Another chilly, cloudy day for us today, but at least a little warmer than what we did see over the past couple days, so that is good news. We can actually look at a live shot. This is looking at I-44 back toward the south into the east. This is our Lander Chevrolet Tower cam on the southeast side of the city, and you can see the roads are dry, even though we've had a few random sprinkles, few random showers across the region. All right, Wednesday looks pretty good. Rain develops Thursday, switches over to a little bit of snow Thursday night into Friday. Of course, you can get my long-range forecast on my month-long blog, KOAMNewsNow.com. It is chilly. We're in the lower 40s, western counties. Everybody else mainly sitting into the upper 30s. You can see the cloudy skies. Here's 7th and range line. Through the evening hours, very steady, but a slow drop back through the 30s. And then eventually, later on tonight, we'll bottom out into the upper 20s for overnight lows. We do have a weak wave, which is passing through. So we have the clouds. You can see some rain, some snow being picked up on the radar. Most of this is not reaching the ground. You have to actually hit the heavier pockets before we do get anything really reaching the ground, and whatever it is very light, but a little kind of a light little rain and snow showers across southwestern parts of Missouri, back through northeastern parts of Oklahoma, maybe a few flurries, and then all this very light activity is not reaching the ground. Here's the back side of the system, so some random flurries could get in here as we go into the overnight hours, but most of the heavy rain staying well to our south, the southern parts of the plains, and then heading into the southeastern parts of the U.S. Next system building back across the Pacific Northwest, and that's the one which will start to affect us as we head into Thursday. All right, clouds tonight. Again, a random snow shower, random shower, few flurries. Out of here after midnight. We clear out late. Let's go through the daytime hours tomorrow. We actually warm up. It looks pretty good. We go back into the 50s for highs. 29 to start, 47 by noon. High temp of 53. The winds are going to slowly crank around out of the east by the time we head into the afternoon hours. Tomorrow night, here come the clouds again. We thicken up. Look at the snow up to our north. So this is Thursday morning. This could clip our northern counties, even a few showers trying to pop up for most of us. Look at our temps. We warm into the mid to upper 50s, and then right on the other side of the front, you have Yates Center at 33, Joplin at 57. So a very strong front. Rain increases, could see some freezing drizzle, so a little coating of ice as we go into Thursday evening, and then Thursday night, we kind of switch over to bands of light snow into Friday morning, lasting through the morning hours and slowly shifting off toward the south and to the east. Being conservative here right now, I think all this is going to be fairly light, a little bit heavier once you go north of Nevada, north of Fort Scott, but I'm going to put most of us anywhere from a ½ inch upwards to 2 inches of snow out of this next system, but something we want to watch closely over the next couple days. 53 tomorrow, 54 but dropping on Thursday, only 33 on Friday, down to 14 Friday night. A chilly first half of the weekend. So we got to keep our eyes on this system.
Certainly do. Doug, thanks. We have a tragic update to our top story concerning the shootings in Joplin. The coroner, Randy Nace, tells us that one police officer and the suspect have died. 2 officers remain in the hospital at last report. We'll be right back.
Pittsburgh High School football has found its next head coach. The school announced today that Josh Latimer will be the new leader of the program. Now, Latimer currently serves as Pittsburgh's strength and conditioning coach. He'll continue in that role in addition to being head coach. Latimer is a Pittsburgh State Hall of Famer and served as the Gorillas' defensive line coach from 2017 to 2020. He's also got head coaching experience leading the Ellsworth Community College program in 2013. Now here's Latimer on his new gig with the Purple Dragons.
It means the world to me. Since 1965, there's only been 3 head coaches here at Pittsburgh High School, and those 3 men are vital keys to the success that's happened in this program. And Larry Garman, Merle Clark, and Tom Nicholson. It's an honor to me to be able to try to fulfill what they established. We're going to have what we call DAT, D-A-T. We're going to have discipline, we're going to be accountable, and we're going to be tough. And that's how we're going to approach each game. It's going to be hard-nosed football because that's all I know.
The Allen Community College men's basketball team has made some history this week. The Red Devils are headed to the NJCAA Division II tournament for the first time in program history. Now, the selection show was today. The team had a watch party. We found out this afternoon they'll be the 9th seed in the bracket and will face 8th seeded Lakeland in the first round in Danville, Illinois next Tuesday. Now, Allen earned its spot in the national tournament by winning a regional title over Johnson County last weekend. Now, the Red Devils are 27-5 overall and are ready to get to Danville to take aim at a national title.
We set out 3 clear goals at the start of the year. That was to win a conference championship, to win 25 plus games, and to make the national tournament. And we've accomplished all 3 of those goals. And now we're adding goals. Now it's go to the national tournament and win games. We're 4 games away from a national championship, and so but we got to take it 1 game at a time and go from there.
When conference came around, I realized that we had a special team. We have a lot of pieces. I feel like once we all are on the same page, is dangerous. So I feel like that's what really got us to this point, and it's just really been a blessing to be able to get to share my talents and play with my brothers.
At the high school level, we have a couple Class 4 playoff games tonight in Southwest Missouri. First up, the Seneca girls face Ava in a state sectional matchup in Nixa. The winner of this one moves on to the state quarterfinals on Saturday. The game has already started with Ava leading 7-3 5 minutes in. I have the latest from the game right here tonight at 10. We'll also have the latest from this one. The Lamar boys face Willow Springs and Nixa for a spot in the Class 4 quarterfinals. That one tips off around 7:45. The Pittsburgh State softball team will open up conference play this weekend. The Gorillas host a doubleheader against Lincoln on Sunday in their first MIAA action of the season. Pitt State is off to a pretty good start in their first year under head coach Jenny Fuller. They've won 6 of their last 8, and they're 14-7 in their first 21 games. The Gorillas' offense has been the story. They actually lead the nation in home runs, hitting 31 in their first 21 games.
We are an offensive team, and we need to rely on our offense, so relying on our big hitters like Pax, Maddie, Keela, those are a few that I can think of. And then Taylor Lambert, our leadoff, she can get on with a bunt or she can hit the ball out of the yard. So I just think it's a very exciting offense to watch.
And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Take time now to honor a local veteran. Francis Every Sr. served in the U.S. Army from 1943 to 45. Parsons, Kansas native, was stationed in France and England, and we salute First Lieutenant Francis Every Sr., a 4-state hero. Once again, we have an update now concerning this afternoon's shootings in Joplin. As we told you, the Jasper County Coroner Randy Nace tells us that 1 Joplin police officer and the suspect have died. Again, officers responded to a call of a disturbance near the Buckle at 4th and Range line. That was around 1:20 this afternoon. While there, the suspect opened fire on officers, then fled. The shootings continued near 9th and Connecticut. Altogether, 3 Joplin police officers and the suspect were shot. Now, at last report, 2 officers remained in the hospital. We do not have any names to report for you tonight, but of course, we're staying on top of this story, and we will have updates online, KOAMNewsNow.com, and on our KOAM News app as we learn more. Here's a look at what else is coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. President Biden announces new long-awaited action against Russia. Also, the U.S. is working on a package that will provide Ukraine with much-needed aid, including weapons, food, and other supplies. And top U.S. intelligence officials testified on Capitol Hill today answering questions about global threats. All that's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14, along with the latest on the tragic shootings today in Joplin. Quick look at the weather, Doug.
Well, we are going to have the clouds and a few random flurries for us tonight. Sunshine does return tomorrow and a little bit warmer. High temp, 53.
See you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.